This is NDTV, and you're watching Classics.
Hello and welcome to Walk the Talk. I am Shekhar Gupta and my guest today, perhaps the busiest troubleshooter of this government and the Congress party, Mr. Veerappa Moily. Welcome to Walk the Talk.
Thank you.
You are a busy man. In fact, so busy I don't know how to introduce you. In which one of your many roles, yes. Chairman of Administrative Reforms Commission, which keeps you very busy. Permanent invitee to CWC, in charge of Tamil Nadu and Kerala. Two very active states. But I suppose everybody now knows you today as the chairman of the Oversight Committee on Reservations. So what takes most of your time?
Each one of them, I can't say, that one segment takes more time than the rest, each one requires my absolute attention. So I can't divide it, in fact, I have to concentrate on everything.
Because this Oversight Committee, although oversight is an American word. In the Indian system, oversight would mean something.
I know. In the parliament connotation, both in UK and US, they use this oversight language.
So how does your committee work exactly? It's an innovation in India for implementing policy.
No. In fact, as you have rightly said, the word oversight itself is a new innovation here.
Right.
And in fact, it is an innovative job. Our job is to monitor, the system, the policy which has been evolved by the government. Usually it is not done. Once the policy is taken, usually the government organs will implement it.
It's unprecedented.
Yeah, unprecedented.
Right. To handle an unprecedented crisis,
job,
controversy.
It's a real conflict situation. It is not as if, it is a policy decision which is immediately received by the people.
Right.
In fact, it is resisted by the people. Now, my idea is not by innovative ideas, we must make this, as a conflict, transform into an opportunity to build a knowledge society. This is my idea.
So how do you transform a conflict like this into an opportunity? We've seen demonstrations all over, now counter demonstrations by pro-reservation students. In the north particularly, our idea of a reservation controversy is Mandal people burning themselves, buses on fire. It's a very emotive issue.
Yeah, it's an emotive issue, but at the same time, of course the people, I think the modern generation has some resistance on the word reservation.
Right.
If it is used in a modern connotation in the European, the Western countries or the US, they have this kind of a equal opportunity, affirmative action, then the diversity, the plural country, like inclusive society, all this. I think the time has come, I think better you change the word from the reservation to some of, after all,
one of these,
meaning is one and the same.
Yes. But reservation is acquired in negative connotation.
Yeah, negative connotation. Maybe that time has come, we may also think of that term, that so that, it should be on a modern connotation, not in the, outdated,
Is that part of your brief or would you recommend that?
No, it may not be a part of the brief. Maybe that we may, once you have rightly said, our oversight committees itself is a new one, and maybe that we can think of this innovative and introduce some new terms so that the modern generation, the younger generation may think, yes, this is an idea which can be accepted.
And they do not think that reservation means that some people will now be excluded.
Yeah, correct. The concept of exclusiveness, will have to go. Sometimes, the other category people who doesn't belong to the backward class or any other thing, they think that they are excluded.
Right.
And without reservation, other class people that they are excluded.
Right.
The idea is to build an inclusive society, not an exclusive society.
Right.
With that, we can work out some capsule by which this is the inclusive society benefits everybody.
That doesn't always work in politics, which is divide and rule. Which is unless you exclude some people, how will you get others so excited that they vote for you?
That is where it makes a difference.
Right.
It is just like this. We have only 8%. The enrollment of that age group to the tertiary sector, that
Right.
is the college education.
Right.
You know, even Indonesia and some of these, you know, developing countries, they have more than 19 or sometimes 20 to 25%.
I mean, 25% of kids will actually go to college.
Go to college.
In India, only 8% go.
8%. And you know, the 10th five-year plan has laid down a target of 10%.
Right.
It never happened.
Never happened.
It may not happen.
Right.
So unless, you know, you boost up this kind of a figure, you know, at least plan for 25%. You know, even the 11th plan, you know, they think that, you know, it can be around 10%. This kind of a tinkering in the college education or a tertiary sector is not going to build this country at all. You are always dream, you know, visions are built up. Even the Rashtrapati says, you know, we are building a vision by 2020.
2020, yes.
This will be the one of the country which will be joining the galaxy of 4 super nations, you know. Without building a knowledge society, you cannot dream of it.
We
So
think
for
our
which-
knowledge economy will drive us.
Yeah, yeah. Knowledge, it is knowledge economy. Ultimately, it is going to create a world best, you know, world best nation.
And you can't do it with 8% of your kids going to
Definitely not. Definitely not. You know, this benefit will percolate to the every part of the society. It doesn't confine to this only backward classes. You know, for example, I'm telling you, Karnataka.
college. Right.
You know, we created, you know, many colleges.
Right.
Many colleges, we created an inclusive society. The reservation, 50% reservation, we implemented not only in the government or government aided, but also in the private institution.
Right.
As a result, you know, hundreds of engineering colleges came up. More than 50 medical colleges came up. I introduced this. I introduced a system called the common entrance test, first time in the country.
I see.
You know, consequently, you know, everything transparent. They get free seat. Even the
So what happens is that even though people come in reserved category, they have
Yeah.
passed the same test.
same test.
You did not lower standards for
No,
them?
no. Common entrance test, we have not lowered the standard. The marks have been not lowered. To be very frank, the difference between the general category student and the backward class student may be 1.5%, 2%.
Right.
And between the scheduled caste and the backward class, it may be again 2-3%. So how do you measure up the merit?
Sir, the main reason why it did not cause so much resentment there was that you created so much supply.
Yeah,
So many private institutions came up.
yeah.
So nobody felt the pinch. But that is not the case in central institutions. For example, you talk about
Yeah.
only 8% Indians going to college, going for higher education. Look at the paradox. In Delhi University now, 93%ers will, you know, if they see you here, they'll say, Mr. Moily, I got 93.6%. I can't find a seat in a good college. Then what happens?
No,
It's a great paradox.
No, there is no paradox at all. You know, if you compare, you know, even in Tamil Nadu, the survey has been made. In a computer science, you know, the merited, you know, the forward class student got only 94%.
Right.
And the OBC student got 93.50%. And, you know, scheduled caste student got only 93%.
Right.
Look at this.
No. I am saying, so how do you address this problem of undersupply? That is the main problem.
No, that is why you increase the strength.
Right.
That is the answer.
Right.
Don't reduce the strength, you know, the quota which is given to the general category. That is what government of India intends to do it. Suppose we increase manifold, you know, it can make a lot of changes.
But can we increase manifold without lowering standards
No.
in these institutions?
No, if the money is available, resources are available, infrastructure is built up, the faculty is built up, it's not impossible at all. For example, in Karnataka, we built number of medical colleges of higher standard, number of engineering colleges of higher standard. You know, everybody at that time said, you know, where are the faculties? Everybody said, where is the you know, capacity building? But everything comes thereafter, immediately.
Is that the idea at central level also?
Yes, very much so.
Can we have 50 IITs in this country, 25 IITs in
No,
this country?
why not? You know, Massachusetts Institute of that university, in one campus, if they can have 5,000 students.
Sir, in fact, that's what, you know, I also mentioned that that at MIT, they take more engineering graduates in 1 year than we take in all our IITs.
You know, by including more people, I don't think, you know, the standard will be lowered, provided we give the equal support
Right.
in infrastructure and also the faculty.
And money will be available for this?
Money should be available. That is what I discussed with the Deputy Chairman Planning Commission also, the Prime Minister, and also with the Finance Secretary. You know, they said the money will be available.
Will be available.
This will be an occasion to take off with regard to the building the
Sir, you
knowledge society.
mentioned the Prime Minister, the
Yeah.
Finance Secretary, the Planning Commission Deputy
Yeah,
Chairman.
yeah,
You
yeah.
didn't mention the HRD Minister.
No, HRD Minister also, I discussed with him twice.
Right.
He's also one with us.
Right.
I said, after all, I'm not going to just, fill the potholes.
Right.
That is not my job. I will take this occasion to build a knowledge society. That is what is required for this.
So I will not just fill the potholes. I'll build a highway.
No, yeah. No potholes.
Knowledge highway.
Knowledge highway.
And Prime Minister,
Knowledge super highway.
knowledge super highway. Because the criticism of this policy is that you're trying to become a knowledge society, but you are now going to lower the standards in your primary institutions.
Never. Not only we are going to, particularly the primary institution. Not only we are going to sustain the present level of the standard or the brand equity. The idea is that I am going to give a roadmap for building these institutions at the global brand equity. This is my idea. We will not disappoint anybody.
And how will you do it? Give us some kind of a roadmap.
Yeah, the question is, the question is on faculty, for example.
Right.
Relax it, not within the parameters of the pay commission, you give them the salary. No.
Right. No.
Offer them attractive salary.
Right.
Even from the world class people come from all over the country. Why not?
Sir,
This can happen. It has happened in, Karnataka and many other places.
are you offering higher salaries than
Why not? Why not?
Government mandates? in
Yeah,
Karnataka?
government mandates that I am requesting them for, keep this, particularly some premier institution out of the pay commission.
Sir, we are standing in the heart of Lutyens, Delhi. This is the very center of Sarkare Hind.
Yeah.
They will not allow such a thing to happen. Everybody has to be paid below the cabinet secretary.
No. After all, not necessary.
So the director of All India Institute of Medical Sciences
Yeah.
takes home 30,000 rupees.
No, it is nothing impossible. If you are really interested to build a knowledge society in this country, I know all inputs of the world-class inputs will have to be put in.
Right.
If there are no inputs, no product.
So you would recommend raising of salaries to attract better faculty?
Yeah. But without affecting some of the parameters, it
Right.
is there.
Right.
We can relax it. Even the faculty which is retiring, we can offer them incentives to continue there. And like that we can do.
So what's the big picture? How many IITs? How many IIMs? How many AIMS seats? 50 seats in AIMS or Indian Institute of Medical Sciences in a. How can you run a country of
You can't
1.1
do it.
billion?
I think even if 1,000 staff increase, the country would absorb this kind of a change.
And you will be open to the idea of letting the private sector come into it as you allowed in Karnataka?
Why not? The private sector should come in. Public sector should come in.
Public-private partnership.
Partnership can come in.
And the Prime Minister, HRD Minister are open to this?
Yeah.